Hi, this is Mr. Cardoso, and here we are going to look at solving simple equations, one and two step, and also multi-step equations. So remember that equation is a mathematical expression with an equal sign. If it doesn't have an equal sign, it is more like it is not an equation. Okay, so that would just be an expression. So it has to have an equal sign to be an equation. Okay, so solve an equation means isolating the variable so that it is on one side of the equal sign and a number is on the other side. So you need to get the variable by itself if you want to solve it. So for example, a number x plus 4 is equal to 7. This is an equation because it has two sides and it has an equal sign. Okay, that's an equation. Now, x represents a number, so it says a number plus 4 is equal to 7. What can that number be? So you can probably figure out that 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. We can solve that by moving the 4 to the other side to isolate x, or to solve for x, and we get x is equal to 3. So this is the solution. Okay, so to solve an equation, we need to use the reverse operation to isolate the variable. Okay. So let's look. If we're adding, what is the reverse operation? Well, the reverse operation is going to be subtracting. If we are subtracting, the reverse operation of subtracting is adding. The reverse of multiplying is dividing. And the reverse of dividing is multiplying. Okay. So let's solve this equation. X plus 7, or a number plus 7, is equal to 10. If I go down one here, we need to get rid of the 7. And the 7 is added to the x. So we need to subtract 7 to get rid of it. So we subtract 7. So we add this part in here. But whatever we do on the left side, we have to do to the right side. So if we're going to subtract 7 on one side, we have to subtract 7 on the other side. So now you know that this plus 7 and the minus 7 cancel out to give us 0, which is stated here. Then we have, on the other side, 10 minus 7 gives us 3. So since the plus 7 minus 7 gives us 0, we're left with just the x on that side. The minus 7, 10 minus 7 here gives us 3. So that is our final solution. Okay, next example. 3x plus 12. 3x is equal to 12, sorry. So if I scroll down here, we need to get rid here of the 3. To get rid of the 3, we have to know what is the 3 doing to the x. The 3 is multiplied to the x. So the reverse of multiplication is division. So to get rid of the 3, we have to divide by 3. So you see here we're dividing both sides by 3. And then these 3 divided by 3 will actually give us 1. So we will get 1x, which is what we want. And on the right side we have 12 divided by 3, which finally will give us our final answer. 1x is equal to 4, or simply x is equal to 4. We don't need to write the 1 there. Okay, this one is slightly different. We are dividing x over 2 is equal to 10. In order to get rid of the over 2 parts, notice that the 2 here, the x is being divided by 2. So to get rid of the 2, we need to do the opposite of dividing, which is multiply. So we multiply the x over 2 by 2. This will cancel out the 2's. or if you think 2 divided by 2 will give us 1x, which is what we want. But whatever we do to the left side, we have to do to the right side, so we have the times 2 over there. And then I scroll down here, we are left with just 1x is equal to 10 times 2. And then finally, we don't need to write the 1, we can just write x, and 10 times 2 is 20. Okay, here's a slightly complicated one. This one is more steps involved. So it says put the here are the steps, put them in order to solve the following equations. So there's a couple of things here. We have an m on this side, we have an m on this side. We need to collect those like terms, and we need to get them all on one side. So get all the like terms on one side and all of the other terms on the other side. So which step does that? Okay, if we look at this one, this step here, how we get from here to here is if we bring the minus m to the other side, it actually becomes plus m. And so we get 3m plus m gives us 4m. Then we need to get rid of the 9, so we get 9 minus 9, but whatever we do to that side, we have to do to the other side. So we have 9 here minus 9. So then we end up, if we cross these ones out, because that will give us 0, and here we'll get 0 as well. So the next step we get there then should be 4m is equal to 0. So that's the next step there. Now we need to get rid of the 4. So we can do that by dividing both sides by 4. And so we can just get here finally the last step, m is equal to 0. Alright, solve the following equation for x. Okay, so we need to collect all the x terms on the left side of the equation and the constant terms on the right side. So let's do it. So 3x, we can leave that x, that's an x variable, so let's leave that on that side. Now here we have a plus 2x. If there's no sign, it's a positive. When we bring that to the left side, it becomes negative 2x. Then I can write my equal sign, because those are the only two x terms, this one and this one. So on the right hand side, we already have this negative 4, so let's leave that be. That negative 4 stays on the right side. It doesn't change sides, so the sign stays the same. But this positive 2 was on the left side. When we move it to the other side, it is changing. It's jumping over the equal sign, so that's going to become minus 2. So 3x minus 2x gives me just x. And minus 4 minus 2 actually gives me minus 6. Sorry, that should be this step here. Is down in the collect like terms parts. And then we solve. Oops, jumped a little bit too far there. Okay, and actually that is my solution. So the final answer then is x equals negative 6. Apologize for the shaky handwriting there. Okay, next one. Let's solve this one for x and check our answer. So here we have a little bit more expansion. So we have to distribute the 2 times x and the 2 times minus 3. So we get 2x minus 6 equals minus 3x. Then minus 3 times positive 5 gives us minus 15. Okay, so we have to distribute this one as well. This times this, and this times this. Don't forget the signs. Negative times positive gives us a negative here. Okay, and then the minus 6 is not in brackets, so we leave that one as is. Okay, now it's similar to the last example where we have to collect all the x terms on one side. So I'll leave the 2x here. I'm bringing the negative 3x over to this side, so when it jumps over the equal sign, the negative will become positive 3x. Okay, so that's the next term, that's the next term. I've got them on the left-hand side. There are no more x terms. So now I write the equal sign, and I'll leave whatever I have there that's not x. So I'll leave the minus 15. It's not moving, so the sign stays the same. I'll leave the minus 6. But this minus 6 is moving. There's two negative 6s here. There's this one and there's this one. This one's going to jump over to the other side, so its sign has to change from a negative to a positive. Okay. And now we can simplify. So 2x plus 3x gives me 5x. And then we get negative 15. But if you look at this, negative 6 plus 6, that's going to give me 0. So this is just going to give me negative 15. Now, to get rid of the 5, we need to, the 5 is multiplying by the x, so the opposite of multiplying is dividing, so I need to divide both sides by 5. And then I get x, because 5 divided by 5 gives me 1x, equals, and negative 15 divided by positive 5 gives me negative 3. That's my final answer. Now,